You know, when it comes to money, doing well has surprisingly little to do with how smart you are, and a whole lot more to do with how you behave. It's a really simple idea, but it's the key to just about everything in our financial lives. So today, we're going to dive into the psychology of money, based on the brilliant insights of Morgan Housel. Let's get right into it.
Okay, this quote right here, it's kind of the key to everything we're about to talk about. We all think we've got a pretty good handle on how the world works, right? But our entire financial worldview is shaped by this unbelievably tiny personal slice of experience. And that right there explains so much.
So that leads to this huge puzzle, right? Why on earth do so many incredibly smart people make what from the outside look like just terrible financial choices? I mean, are they just being irrational, or is there something much deeper going on?
Well, to even begin to answer that, we've got to wrap our heads around this core idea in money psychology. No one is crazy.
Okay, get this number in your head, $100 billion. That is how much Americans spend on lottery tickets every single year. And the vast majority of those tickets are bought by people in low-income households. Now, from a personal finance perspective, that looks like a horrible decision. But let's look a little closer.
For someone who feels totally stuck, with no clear path to getting a raise or finding a better job, that lottery ticket isn't just a piece of paper. It represents the only tangible hope they feel they have for a completely different life. It's a Hail Mary pass when you're on your own 1-yard line.
And that right there is our first huge takeaway. Your financial decisions make perfect sense to you. They have to, because they are shaped by your unique history, your personal fears, and your deepest hopes. Understanding this is the absolute foundation for everything else.
Okay, so our money logic is deeply personal. Got it. Now, with that in mind, let's dig into a critical distinction that almost everyone misses. The skills that help you get rich are the polar opposite of the skills that help you stay rich.
See, getting rich, that's all about taking big risks, being wildly optimistic, and putting yourself out there. It's an offensive game. But staying rich? Whoa, that's a completely different sport. It requires humility, a healthy dose of paranoia, and a deep-seated fear that everything you've built could be taken away. It's all about defense.
Bill Gates is like the perfect case study for this. He had the outrageous, borderline crazy optimism to start Microsoft in the first place, but at the same time, he had this deep-seated paranoia that made him insist the company always have enough cash to survive for an entire year with absolutely zero income. That's the get rich, stay rich mindset in one person.
Or hey, take Warren Buffett. A mind-blowing 99% of his enormous fortune was earned after his 60th birthday. Think about that. Most people would have cashed out a few billion and spent the rest of their lives on a beach, but Buffett, he just kept playing the game.
And that's the real secret sauce, you see. His true genius wasn't just about picking great stocks. It was about surviving, year after year, decade after decade, long enough for the magic of compounding to do its incredible work. Endurance, not genius, is the real engine of wealth.
But what's the end game here? I mean, what's the point of all this saving and compounding? Well, that brings us to a really fundamental misunderstanding that most of us have about what it actually means to be wealthy.
This quote from Morgan Housel just nails it. We see the fancy cars, the sprawling mansions, the designer clothes, and we think, aha, that's wealth. But what we're seeing isn't wealth, it's spending. True wealth is what you don't see.
So what does that mean? It means real wealth is totally invisible. It's hiding in brokerage accounts, in retirement funds, in index funds. It's the income you've managed to save and invest that gives you options, flexibility, and freedom, not the stuff you buy to show other people how much money you have.
I mean, look no further than the Vanderbilts. Their story is the ultimate cautionary tale. They were masters of spending, and in just a few short generations, they managed to burn through one of the largest fortunes in human history. The irony? The first Vanderbilt to get zero inheritance, you know him, Anderson Cooper, had to build his own wealth and ended up becoming the most successful of them all.
Okay, so if we know wealth is about saving, why is it so darn hard to do? Well, it comes down to this really simple, powerful, and totally human instinct. We always want more.
And this is the challenge, right here. It's so easy that as our income goes up, our desires and expectations just expand right along with it, sometimes even faster. The idea of enough becomes this moving target that we can just never seem to hit.
And that, right there, is the real trap.
Look, it's not bad to want nice things. The danger kicks in when our lifestyle expectations, often fueled by looking at what our neighbors or friends have, start to grow faster than our paychecks. That's when we get into trouble.
Because let's be honest, that's the problem with playing the social comparison game, isn't it? The ceiling just keeps getting higher and higher. There will always be someone with a bigger house, a faster car, a more exotic vacation. It is a battle you literally cannot win. So the only smart move is to refuse to play.
All right, so if the goal isn't to win some unwinnable status game, then what is the point of building wealth? What's the real payoff, the ultimate return on all your saving? This, right here, might be the most important lesson of all.
It all comes down to this. The greatest thing that money can buy isn't a luxury item. It's not a thing at all. It's autonomy. It's the freedom to control your own time and your own life choices.
Morgan Housel tells this amazing story about his own father, who was an ER doctor. Now, even though he made a great income, his family lived the same frugal life they did when they were poor. His dad's colleagues all spent their big doctor paychecks. His dad saved. And then one day, decades before any of his peers could even dream of it, he just woke up and said, "I'm done." He wasn't saving money just to be cheap. He was buying his freedom.
And that, my friends, is the absolute peak. It's the highest form of wealth you can achieve. Having enough money saved and invested that you can wake up every single morning and have complete control over your day. That is a dividend that no luxury good could ever hope to match.
So we'll leave you with this final thought. We spend so much time asking, how can I get the highest returns, but chasing every last percentage point often means taking risks that can wipe you out. The more powerful question to ask yourself is this: what is my definition of enough? Because once you know what's enough to make you happy, enough to make you feel secure, enough to be free, you stop playing everyone else's game and start winning your own. And that is the most valuable financial move you could ever make.